Oh, it's not a cut. That's a slice.
Now this is a quack hook.
Oh,
Short
wow.
and into the right rough, headed to the trees.
Oh my God, it's a shank. He decided to re-tee. That's a shank. Oh, man.
Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the Two-Way Miss podcast. I know we've missed you. I'm sure you've missed us, but, you know, life sometimes just gets in the way of us recording an episode. Again, if more and more of you keep listening and telling your friends, maybe someday we'll get paid for this and we won't miss any episodes. We promise at that point that we won't miss any episodes. But we have to, I think, start, Banksy, first of all, by saying hello to you. But second of all, we have to thank the people for our last YouTube video. It went like nuts. 20, like I said, almost 10 plus views in like the first couple hours. It's already up to 21 views. We're up 5 subscribers this month on the channel. Like, it's going crazy, man.
It's pretty cool. Pretty awesome. And it's not like our mom and dad. It's like other people.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. My mom and dad don't know how to use YouTube, so they wouldn't be on there. That's for sure. But it's, we really appreciate everyone, you know, checking out the videos, listening to the podcast, subscribing to the channel. We really, really, really appreciate it. Again, it's amazing just that 12 people, you know, would even bother to subscribe to be up to date on our videos. It's crazy that 21 people out there would watch our video, but we greatly appreciate it. So,
Yes, thank you.
Banksy, we missed, you know, a little bit of time, a couple days, but
Whew.
we're back.
Life,
We got a lot
life,
to talk
man.
about, you know. We got a lot to talk about. And just as a teaser, we'll be ending with the fact that the boys are getting together. The boys are getting back together. It's been a long time since we've seen each other in person.
Rain, shine, or snow.
It's only 30% chance. It's
we're
not a
making
big
it
deal.
happen.
We've played in worse.
We've played in worse. That's always my go-to. I've played in worse.
The Blizzard story is going to have to be an episode at some point. We're going to have to go through that
That was
because
a
that
good
was
one.
something.
That was something, all right.
Oof. So that's for another episode when we get to talking about that round of golf. But we'll talk about that towards the later part of the show. But in the golf world, we have a fair bit to talk about. We're just going to jump right into it because we're going to be, as you could, you know, come to expect from us, we're going to be jumping topics all over the place. So we did miss our recap of the Players Championship. We know it was a few weeks ago, but we obviously want to talk about one of the bigger tournaments that happens throughout the golf season. So Cameron Smith wins for the second time and wins another tournament where the field is really, really good. You know, he's not sort of winning these chump tournaments like in between these bigger tournaments. He's winning some big boys, and it's impressive. I don't think a lot of people saw him having sort of what it takes to win a lot. Up to this point, he had won at the Zurich, which is a team event. Like, he had won that twice, and he had won, where else did he win? I forget. Somewhere else another time. So he had won two team events, and he had won one other event that we can't even think of. He comes out, wins the Tournament of Champions, and wins the Players this year. So, I mean, really playing well. Hit an unbelievable shot on Monday, I guess, at 17, going right at the flag, that right flag that has very little room to the right of it.
Yeah, he pushed it a little bit.
Yeah, he did. But hey,
Come on.
it turned out cool.
It turned out cool. Yeah, you know and it's nice too. I mean, you're right. You don't really hear Cam Smith. He's a quiet guy. I don't know. You know, you don't see him every week, but you know, pretty likable guy. You know, he's won Tournament of Champions, but he's also now won on a bigger stage with the golf course again. You know, they tricked that course out for the weekend or whatever you want to call it, because it, you know, took so long to finish. But
Yeah.
Even, you know, with all that rain, it's amazing how they can still get these golf courses to be as tough as they are.
Well, we finally saw the wind pick up somewhere. We kind of expected it in Hawaii, and it didn't happen. They went like 30 plus right under par.
Yeah.
For 4 days down there. And then the wind finally picked up, and we saw some carnage.
Yeah.
Like, the best players in the world having no idea what was going to happen to their golf ball once it got in the air.
Yeah.
Now, JT put on like a stripe show that day.
That was incredible. I mean, he admitted himself it was probably one of the best rounds he's ever played. And I would, people that aren't super into golf and know what that's like and be like, oh, he shot what, 3 under, best round of golf of your life. Like, what are you talking about? But watching everybody else play that day, and then watching the clinic and the ball striking that he was able to accomplish, it was incredible. And I would 100% back him and be like, yeah, I bet that probably was one of the best rounds of his life.
Yeah, it kind of exposed a lot of really good golfers that they are really used to just hitting it as high as possible and as far as possible.
Yeah, and that's we've talked about the technology piece for like this equipment and these golf balls they're designed and engineered to go straight and high.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying these guys aren't good. I mean, they're all of them are incredible players. But you start throwing in wind, rain, some difficult weather, you're right. It exposes some of these guys to where, I mean, they're super, super good, but they also rely on that technology and the way that the balls and golf clubs are engineered. So to have JT kind of take it back and do just a good old fashioned round of golf where you're hitting, he had to hit 100 different shots that round to do what he did. And I don't think not a lot of players have that.
Yeah, well, yeah, we saw that, right? Like we literally saw it happen live. It was his ability to hit all those different types of shots. And it's what we talk about when we reminisce about Tiger, right?
Yeah.
It was his ability to hit any shot that was required at any time. And when you get to guys like DJ or Koepka or Rory, those guys have just shown that they can't. I don't know if they don't practice them. I mean, why would they, right? You only really have to use it maybe 2 weeks a year, like maybe at the Open.
Yeah.
And maybe in Hawaii, right? If the wind really picks up. But JT obviously is putting some work or just has that natural shot shaping ability. And it showed. And it was cool. And it was finally like we saw him show his talent.
Yeah. And I don't think those guys, they don't practice nearly as much as players may have done back in the day. These guys, they don't practice. They go out, they hit a few balls, they'll play a couple holes, hit a few putts, put their TrackMan out and call it a day. So yeah, I don't, you're right. You need it for a couple weeks a year. They don't practice. I mean, JT, when he had a 6-iron on 17.
Yeah.
I mean, that's incredible. Not a knockdown 6-iron.
Right. From 120.
From 100. Yeah. Like that's, you don't see too many guys having that ability. And you watched 17. I mean, 17, it was incredible to watch the amount of shots that weren't even close.
Yeah.
Not even close. But yeah, unfortunately he wasn't able to seal the deal and win, but that round was a pretty epic round, one of the best ball striking rounds you'll probably ever see. And if you go back and watch it or YouTube it, you've really got to appreciate shots that he was hitting in those conditions.
Yeah, you can't. It's like you said, if you've never, or if you're new to golf, or if you've maybe only watched some regular PGA tournaments where the wind doesn't kick up, right? When they show that Pro Tracer, you're only used to seeing the ball go one of two ways, high into the left or high into the right, depending on if it's a draw or a fade. And to turn on that round and go back and watch all those shots, you'd be mind blown. You'd almost think he was doing like he wasn't doing it on purpose, that he was mishitting all those shots.
Yeah.
If you didn't know any better, you'd think, well, why did that come out so low? Did he top it? Did he miss it? Like, you'd think that he was doing it not on purpose, but it was on purpose, and it was impressive.
Yeah, I wish he could have. I mean, kudos to Cam. He played really well. I wish Thomas could. I mean, he's starting to. It seems like he's starting to play better. Hopefully his next.
Yeah, he played
step
decently at the Valspar the next week. Also,
Yeah.
he didn't. He kind of faded again on Sunday and didn't. Wasn't close, but was in contention at least. And it's something we've kind of been waiting for, right, from JT. We'll talk about this a little later when we kind of go over our Masters predictions from back in January, because that's just a couple of weeks away here.
Yeah, and hey, by the way, you could have finished in 37th place at the Players and still made $100,000.
Yeah, it's not a bad couple days, right?
For the day, yeah, for the weekend and a half, the long weekend they took to play.
Yeah, Cam Smith won what, $3.2 million or something.
That might be after taxes. He won 3.6.
No, there you go.
Yeah,
Crazy.
So, good times, man. Good times.
Good for him. I mean, 2 wins in already an early season. It's impressive stuff from Cam Smith, and I can't say that I expected it. But yeah, you got to give the guy kudos for winning the 2 tournaments that he has won. It's impressive to win at those 2 places with the fields that they, attract. So good for him, and hopefully he can keep it up in the majors. He's had a great track record at Augusta the last couple years, finishing top 10, I think, the past 3 years. So hopefully he can continue to carry that momentum into April. So obviously the Valspar happened. We don't really care. And as we speak, the match play is going on. I don't know why. I can't get into the match play. I don't know if it's when they turned into the pools. It used to be like a March Madness style. Like they literally just took all the guys, right? And it just sunk into one. And I know they did the pools for a certain reason. It was probably taking too long. It's a lot of matches to get through in just a couple days. I don't like the pool play. I like the sort of March Madness bracket.
Yeah, one and done.
Yeah.
You're
right.
Yeah.
I of course love the clips coming out of Tiger beating Stephen Ames. That's always fun to go back and watch that.
9-8.
Yep. So if you ever want to take a look at that, just head on YouTube and search Tiger Woods Stephen Ames.
And the backstory is Stephen Ames running his mouth a little bit before.
That's right.
Before
saying
the
that Tiger
match,
was hitting it all over the planet with his driver, and he looks. Who knows what can happen with where he's hitting the ball? I believe was very close to what the quote was. Tiger comes out, wins the first 9 holes, and in match play, that's it. It's over. So
let's go get an early lunch.
Let's go home, everyone.
That was his Jordan shrug moment.
And then when Dottie interviews him afterwards, she asked very directly. She said, did what Steven say have anything, give you a little extra motivation? And he says it absolutely did. And I think he knows now. This is how he ended it.
Yeah.
God, Tiger.
Oh, Tiger.
So good.
Tiger.
We'll talk a little bit more about him in a few minutes. So that's going on now. If you're interested in those, we'll keep track of them. We'll go over them, the match play next week if anything stands out to us. But, another sort of big news event in the world of golf was that the Live Golf Invitational schedule came out. 8 events all over the world. Various places that a lot of people will not recognize, and maybe 2 that people will. And they did all this without. We still don't know who is playing in this thing.
Yeah, we don't have a player list. I saw some Anthony Kim shout outs.
That would be hilarious.
Is he gonna break back out into professional golf.
That would be really funny.
Some Anthony Kim.
I'd watch at least one round if Anthony Kim was in it, because that would be pretty good.
That would be something.
So anyway, it starts in June and it ends in October. They're going, every few weeks, and one in June, 2 in July, 2 in September, 3 in October.
Did they come out with like the purses? Like, what are these guys? What are these?
Yes,
I mean, they
so-
playing for $50 million.
So each event has a 20. Hold on. 8 event. So there's individual and team competitions, which is what makes it different.
Team competitions.
And
Are they
I
random?
believe
You
no,
get to
they're
bring
picked,
your own squad.
they're picked specifically.
By
and then-
not the players.
No, I don't believe so.
Okay,
I think Greg picks the teams.
Craig.
So the team championship match play event is for $50 million. And I think each event has a $25 million purse for 48 guys with no cut and 3 days.
Whew.
So
That's a lot to take in there. That whole situation you just presented. That's a lot to take in.
So, I mean, a lot of people said don't jump the gun, right? This thing is not dead. And obviously they've proven that with coming out with this. We still don't know how they're going to broadcast this to people, how anybody is going to watch it. We still don't know. And the first event is 3 months away. We still don't know who's playing in them. We have no idea if anybody is officially signed or not. And these courses, from what I've heard in listening to various other podcasts, reading some articles, they're not great. Like
Really?
Trump Bedminster is like the most recognizable one. But apparently all these other ones, like some of them, they're like, this is not a professional golf course.
Interesting.
So it's going to be interesting. As we said before, we don't know how anyone will be able to watch these. We have no idea. They have not announced any sort of TV partnership or streaming deal or anything like that. We don't know who's playing in them. We have no idea who's going to make this thing worth watching. And again, we've talked about all the sort of moral and, other background stuff that is going on with this whole company and these series of tournaments, but I don't know. Until they tell us how we're supposed to watch and who's playing in it, who is supposed to get excited about this?
Yeah, well, especially if the golf courses are whatever. I mean, I don't know. Maybe
Right.
Are the Saudis pumping money into the golf courses to rejuvenate?
So from what I've
Courses,
heard, yes, they're paying a lot of money to go to these places, and the golf courses are trying to get themselves ready to be professional golf courses. But again, I haven't heard of any of these. So outside of Trump. So as far as I know, they've never hosted a PGA Tour event or a European Tour event.
Right.
So I don't know. We can't really say much until we know how we're
Yeah,
supposed to
so-
watch it
yeah.
or who's playing in it, right?
Yeah, and if the guys that do play in it, if this is the PGA Tour gonna stick to their word and be like, all right, you're done, see ya,
Yeah,
you're out.
right.
It'll be interesting. Speaking just leagues and tournaments and everything. I think it was Nelly Corda. Maybe they were talking to her and had brought up about the whole playing more tournaments, like co-ed tournaments. The guys and not necessarily on teams, but just having the run in the same tournament, and the
Right.
guys play and the girls play. Probably some modified tees.
Yeah, of course.
obviously. But just want to bring it up. We did talk about that
We did.
almost a year ago.
That's right.
So just throwing it out there.
And I think John Rahm kind of threw his hat in and said he would be into it.
It would be awesome.
It would
It'd
be good.
great.
It would be
It'd
good if
be
you could do like a mixed foursome and everyone's playing a tournament, right? They're not playing on a team. They're not doing that.
No,
Like
it's
they're
just-
legit playing.
It's the same tournament.
Yeah.
It's the same purse money. Like it's not a guy's purse and a girl's purse. Like they're playing the same tournament. You would just have those modified, modified tees. For example, like in high school golf, the tee from where the women hit from have to be within 80% of where
Yeah.
the guys hit from. You just have to modify the tees, but the rest of the course, I mean, rough and pin placements. I mean, that's all fair game, but
Yeah.
just modify the tee. That'd be awesome to watch.
It would be really cool, especially if I'm sure you could set it up that they're all landing in the same area. And then to see
Yeah, sure.
right? Let's see the wedges, right? The comparison and wedges and long irons and
Yeah,
all that stuff.
absolutely. It's a great idea, and I hope it happens. And we touched on that almost a year ago.
Just to pat ourselves on the back a little bit.
Just saying.
Yeah.
All right.
So, I
sorry.
mean, this live golf thing, like, who the heck knows? We don't know how we're going to watch it. We don't know who's playing in it. I don't care.
And the guys, the guys that already said that they're not playing in it, who is left to play in it that you're gonna give
Yeah.
two shits about?
I don't know. Unless
I
you're a
don't
big
know.
Justin Rose or Ian Poulter fan, maybe. I don't know who
Oh
else. We don't
man,
know.
I was watching Tiger's final Masters round back in 2001, maybe. And
Okay.
it was like young Ian Poulter. Like, man, you just want to punch that guy in the face.
Still wearing the dumb outfits back then, even.
Oh my gosh, you just want to punch him in the face. He's gotten better. Like I don't hate him nearly as much as I used to, but going back 15, 20 years, I was like, yep, that's the guy.
Didn't he have like bleach blonde hair at that point and like
Oh yeah, Spike.
Yeah, yeah.
Spiky. Yeah, he just.
that's funny. All right, should we get into
What's next? I don't know. I took us on a swirly.
Nope, you're good. We're gonna talk Masters, baby.
Oh, thank God.
I know it's gonna get you excited.
Thank God. Where's Mark? Mark, play the song.
I should get it to play right before we talk about it. We might
Mark,
might get sued though.
We're gonna have him on the show. Just to,
He can play it live.
he's just gonna play it,
I like it.
right? We'll decide if we let him talk or not, but
Yeah.
he's definitely gonna just play the song.
I like it.
All right,
Let's get that set up for the next few weeks because we're gonna be talking
All
about
right.
it a lot.
I love it.
So
I'm in.
there's a couple things that have come out. The Masters released a video, their first sort of promo video, much more modern than I think
Ooh.
any sort of Masters video has been in a long time. Lots of like B-roll of young people and different countries and things like that. So it was an interesting little video. What do you want? Do you want to talk Phil first, or you want to talk Tiger first?
Let's end with Tiger because he deserves save the best for last. Let's. So speaking of Phil, so I'm listening to another podcast, and I honestly don't even know what podcast. It was a golf podcast, but I'm not sure what. And they had a former MLB baseball player on, and again, I don't know who it was. So I was really, me and listening and stuff, but they had a former MLB player on, and they're talking about baseball and golf and blah blah blah, and then that was right when it came out that Phil was no longer basically being invited to play, and they asked this guy what his thoughts were, and he was like, well, what do you mean he's not playing? Why wouldn't he play? It's the Masters. Why isn't he playing? Is he hurt? And like they kept asking him a couple other questions, like leading it, like, well, he kind of got himself into some hot water and was saying so. And this former MLB player was just like, yeah, I just can't understand why he's not playing. There must be something wrong. And I'm like sitting there, I'm like, this dude has no idea
Yeah,
what's been going on
Right.
these last couple months. It was funny. Like this guy had no clue as to why Phil wouldn't be playing in the Masters.
I think that's going to be a lot of the world.
Yeah, well, but it's so I still think, especially now, leaving people to cook up their own stories in their own head, it's a bad idea.
Yeah,
Like the lack of transparency from the PGA to where now you have something. I mean, I think it's hurting Phil even more. Gaining his likability back, because now it's like, well, now he's not even invited. Like the Masters, he's a 3-time green jacket winner,
yeah.
multiple jacket winner, and he's basically been de-invited to play. Like they're asking him not.
Is that actually what happened? I didn't
I don't
see
know,
that.
but see, I don't know.
I feel
Did
like
Phil-
he's just
did-
decided not to go.
Did Phil say he's not playing? Or
Not
was he
officially.
Was he asked not to come? He was
He was-
on the list.
He was just on
He
the
was on
list
the
of
list.
past champions not playing this year.
Right, but originally he was on the list as an attendee. Now he's not. And again, because we don't know, that story can go any way you
Yeah,
want.
there's been no official statement from the Masters or Phil, as far as I
Or
know.
Phil. And I
But they
think
did
this
sort of
whole-
they put it out with their whole, like, this is the full list of the past champions not playing. It wasn't like it was a separate announcement that Phil wasn't playing.
Yeah, I don't know, man. I just in this situation with Phil, somebody needs to come out and say what's going on. And
Yeah.
I think that's more for Phil's sake. Like I mean, because I thought for sure. I mean, he loves the Masters.
Yeah.
Like he loves it. And I just think there's something else going on. Because you know what? No matter how bad he messed up, still gonna have those Augusta fans who are there to watch golf
Yeah.
and would still, I think, you never know how people, I guess, would fully react, but I still think that there'd be enough support for him to come play, unless Phil's really mad at himself and he's just like, no, bad Phil. I'm taking the time. I'm not coming back. I don't know.
I don't know. I haven't thought enough about the why.
Mm-hmm.
You can kind of piece it together if you really want to say that it's about the Saudi stuff that's been going on, but it's like that has nothing to do with the Masters, right? The Masters is not associated with the PGA Tour. You're a past champion who has a lifetime exemption to play in that tournament. You have to be the one to say, I'm done.
Yeah.
At the Masters. And it's either, I don't know, there's either some agreement he signed that's stopping him from playing in these tournaments, or it might be like you said, that he really does feel something and is taking himself out of it for some reason yet to be exposed.
Yeah. And then, what's next? I mean, shit, next is the PGA where he's the defending champion.
But here's the thing. The Masters usually isn't afraid of getting out in front of stuff like this because there's probably going to be speculation that they didn't invite him.
Yeah.
And there might be a question about that when the chairman of Augusta always has a press conference.
Mm-hmm.
There
And
mu-
those,
so-
yeah.
Somebody's going to ask the question, like, did you have a conversation with Phil and ask him not to come?
Yeah.
I think
They're
it's
gonna
going to get
ask him
asked.
I think everybody's going to ask. I think they're going to ask the players.
Yeah.
Everybody's going to ask because this, okay, whatever. You're taking time off for, whether it's self-imposed or you've been sanctioned to do that or whatever. But now we're getting into the big boy stuff.
Yeah.
Like we're getting into the Masters.
Right.
one of the tournament that you love, you're the site of your first major, and you're not there. And again, I know it's his business, blah blah blah, but I think for Phil's sake, I think to move on from this, he should just be like, listen, I'm out. I'm I'm pissed at myself. I'm out. I'll be back at some point, and maybe he did. I don't know. Maybe he did say that, and we're just not taking it seriously. Or missing the Masters is just a big situation for me.
I think this deserves a separate statement aside from the one he already put out a couple weeks ago. The Masters is that big of a deal that if you're Phil Mickelson, who just won a PGA championship and is an iconic player at the Masters and has huge cheering sections, comparable probably only to Tiger and Jordan Spieth and Rory. Phil is probably one of the top followed guys when you actually are on the grounds of Augusta.
Yeah.
And I just think it's in his best interest, not only from, it's really only one. It's from a PR standpoint. Why would you want the chairman of the Masters answering that question for you when you could come out and say what happened? You could come out and say, I've chosen not to play. I am really taking this time to reflect on myself. That long look that I spoke of in my previous statement is really what I'm doing. I hope that this, as much as I'm disappointed and this hurts me to do, I hope that this shows the commitment to getting better that I discussed in my previous statement. That, like, something like that.
You should write that down and maybe send that down. That was pretty good.
Yeah, thank you.
Oh,
Listen, if anybody needs some, some PR, I'm here. I'm available.
Because with the Masters just right around the corner, I don't think it's the closer we get to the tournament, the less appropriate it's going to be for him to say anything, because then it's going to take away from the tournament a little bit.
And the more speculation that's going to happen, and the more times that writers are just going to go get their own sources.
Oh yeah.
So it's going to be more and more that Phil's not the one saying it. People are just trying to piecemeal it together, and we know that can be really right or really wrong all at the same time.
Mm-hmm.
I just don't think it would be smart for him to wait a lot longer to say something.
Right.
I'm very disappointed that I'll have to miss, the 2022 Masters because blah, blah, blah.
And if he's, I don't know, unless somehow the PGA Tour has partnered with the Masters.
There's just no way. The Masters don't give a shit about the PGA Tour.
Yeah. So I was very, very surprised, and then it's unfortunate. It is.
It is.
Because, it's just unfortunate. That was the site when Tiger had his little mishap. It was the first tournament he came back to, and there's mixed reviews, but you're still there to play golf. Yeah, and again, I don't know the full story.
I don't think we can overstate how big of a deal it is. I know we're not getting that hyped up about it, but to anyone who's listening who might not be as aware of everything going on, or maybe is new to golf and maybe this is their first Masters or their second or third, they haven't been watching it for 20 plus years like we have.
Mm-hmm.
This is it's a really big deal for someone to skip the Masters who's invited. It's an even bigger deal for a past champion with no injury, still at an age to be able to play, coming off winning a major last year, to not play in this tournament. It's a big deal.
And Phil just going to wait a full year to come back and just hope everybody's like, oh, remember that one time when I did that thing and that's so long ago, nobody remembers. If you're able to get back, just get back.
This is almost kind of like his loophole. If the PGA Tour did suspend him, this is a loophole.
Yeah.
The majors are a loophole. come back and play and gain some public, some positivity back.
Yeah.
Most of the people aren't going to know what happened. They're just going to see you at Augusta. And you're going to get some questions that aren't going to be fun.
And just continue to apologize.
Right.
Continue to apologize.
Yeah. I think, like you said, the longer that he waits, the worse it's going to get.
Yep. Unless there's something else going on.
Yeah, which...
But we don't know.
Right.
Because everything is so concealed.
Yeah.
All right. Whew.
So we'll see. Maybe a statement comes out in the next few days and we'll be able to talk about it next week. Maybe something doesn't, and we'll continue to speculate with I'm sure more information will come out from different sources about this, because it's just too big of a deal for people not to start digging into it and trying to figure it out.
It needs to come out soon, because we're getting too close to the tournament. The college women are going to be playing there soon.
Yep.
The kids are going to be there soon. None of that should be overshadowed by a Phil statement.
Yeah.
It needs to come out now, or I guess just continue with the waiting game and see what happens. But it's very strange to me.
Yeah, it is. So let's jump to something on the opposite side, to somebody who, as of now, it looks like he is playing.
He's playing, but
nope, I don't believe you.
He's playing.
So if you don't know, we're talking about the Tiger Woods. He is listed at the Masters as playing. And I'm going to stick to my guns that I don't think he comes back till St. Andrews. I don't know how physically he'll be able to. He even talked about it at Riviera, that he is not in the shape to deal with a professional tournament. The Masters is not an easy walk on healthy legs, let alone legs that have been reconstructed. And you saw his legs at the Hall of Fame, like they're toothpicks.
They're really skinny
compared to what they used to be.
Yeah.
I don't know. Listen, I don't know how it's possible. I guess I shouldn't think that about Tiger Woods after 2019. Maybe he's capable of doing anything and just everything at all times. He has that sort of willpower. From a physical standpoint, I can't see Tiger Woods playing in this tournament. That's where I'm at. Come back at me. Tell me why.
Well, so first of all, with all that, the whole 2019 situation, and I know I'd seen this before, but I hadn't seen it in a while. And anybody that hasn't seen it or should just watch it again, most amazing clip, commercial, whatever, they were showing after he won the Masters. He was doing some interview, and the reporter handed him an iPad, and it was just everybody saying he's done. He's done. Stephen A. Smith, Shannon Sharp, the Golf Channel, he's done. He's got to be done. It's over. He can't come back. And Tiger's watching these people say, never going to win a tournament again, never going to compete again. And this is after he had won already. And the dude didn't say a word, right? Tiger didn't say a word. He just is watching the iPad, and he looks up and just smiles.
Yeah.
And then and then it cuts.
Yeah.
And I know I'd seen that before, but I hadn't seen it for a while. And if you haven't seen it or haven't seen it in a while, go look that up, because he doesn't say a word.
Yeah.
Incredible. So, to that point, I think he's playing. I think if he doesn't say that he's not playing within by mid next week, he's playing. I will never downplay his injuries. But that guy's been working his ass off. And working. And the thing is, what was damaged is healed. Yeah, you're still going to have pain, and it's going to be a bitch. but what the damage was is healed. It's not like he's going to go to swing and his leg's going to snap, or his bone's going to pop out, or one of the screws in his ankle's going to come loose. Like he's healed. So I just think if he is in a place where he can tolerate the discomfort and make that, I just think he's going to play. I don't know what's going to happen. He might miss the cut, but
if
he's
he
going to
played
play.
and made the cut, it would be one of the most unbelievable things that ever happened.
Yeah, it'd be better. I mean, it'd be like winning. They're not to him, but for us fans, that'd be like him winning the tournament if he'd make the cut. I just think he's going to play because there's nothing structurally at this point. There's nothing structurally wrong. All that is healed. Feels like the muscle tone is back. The walking part is back. I mean, through all of this, we haven't heard anything about his back. I guess his back still feels good.
Yeah.
I mean, which is incredible based on the accident. We haven't heard anything about the back.
Right.
And who knows? Dude could have been at Augusta already playing practice rounds. Like, yeah, I can make this walk. You never know. I mean, that would be something that would be kept completely under wraps.
Yeah.
I just think he's playing. I think that was his goal. Well, goal 1, PNC. Goal 1, don't lose your leg.
Yeah.
Goal 2, walk. Goal 3, PNC. Goal 4, Masters.
We need to put like a wager on this. What are we putting on this?
I'm saying he's playing.
What are we putting on this?
Whatever you want.
Somebody tell us what the bet should be. Somebody reply to us. Leave a comment on the YouTube video. Something. We need to put a wager on this because.
So why don't you think he's playing? You don't think
I don't think he's physically capable, and I think that combined with not being able to give the tournament the proper effort that it requires. Tiger has always said, I don't just play tournaments just to show up. He doesn't go to tournaments just to show up and miss the cut. I feel like his mindset is still that way. Mm-hmm. Deep down, I know he said, I'm just trying to make it back for a couple tournaments a year. And I believe that because I really do feel like he doesn't want to show up to 6 tournaments and play like absolute garbage at 4 of them and play good at 2. I think he wants to show up to 3 tournaments and know that he can play to the best of his abilities at those tournaments. I don't think that's possible right now. To compete with the guys he needs to compete against. The PNC thing is a whole different beast, right?
Sure.
He doesn't have to do what he's going to have to do at Augusta at that tournament. He's able to take a cart, all the things we've talked about. I don't see how he could be tournament ready enough for him to be in the mindset that I'm just not showing up to this to bat it around and look like an idiot. That's why I don't think he will play. I don't know what the right answer is, but that's what I think.
That's fair. I mean, we know he'll be on the grounds.
I'm sure he would show up.
Dinner.
Yeah.
Yep. He's going to be there. I just think he's coming with 4 golf outfits.
All right. Well, we will see. We will keep everyone up to date via Twitter or via next week's episode if anything comes up. It's going to be interesting, man. I can't wait to see A, what Phil says, and then B, if we really do see Tiger at that tournament, because that would be unbelievable if he shows up to that thing to play golf.
He and Charlie should play in the par 3 contest too.
That would be a good idea.
Yeah.
That would be a good idea.
Do we know what's on Hideki's menu? We'll have to find that out.
I don't know. I can try and look that up.
What his menu's going to be. But yeah, I mean, it's it's Masters time, right? Like it's just you start to feel a little giddy. You start to feel the tingles, man. It's Masters time. Who was your pick?
Oh yeah, so let's go over that.
Oh, are
So
you
we
looking up
made-
his menu?
I
Sorry.
was, but it's okay. We can go back and while I'm looking it up. So we made some predictions back in January on all the major winners. So my first choice was John Rahm. Your first choice was Justin Thomas. When asked to pick, second choice, I picked Colin Morikawa. You picked Brooks. Those are the
Friggin'
picks
Brooks.
we have.
I picked Brooks.
You did.
What an idiot.
I picked Bryson for the PGA Championship. I'm gonna look like a big dummy when he's playing in Saudi Arabia. So
He got it. I haven't watched much of the match play, but I know he got his ass kicked
Yeah.
twice.
it's pretty funny.
JT's trending in the right direction, man. It's all gonna build up to Augusta where he's gonna close a tournament. Like he's playing well, he's getting there, but he can't
He
close.
always chokes at the Masters, man. He always chokes.
But you have Bones, you have the calming,
That's true.
that the added support of Bones on the bag. If you asked me again right now, I'm sticking with that pick.
I would still pick Rahm just based on his past couple years' performance at this tournament.
Mm-hmm.
He's basically just been like a top 5 machine at this place for the past 3 or 4 years. It is good that JT's been trending in the right direction. We've always wanted him to play well at this tournament, and he just has not. I think you bring up a great point about Bones being on the bag, and that experience that he has brings a huge, piece of the puzzle on JT's side. It'll be interesting. Like we said back then, we're going to keep track of all these picks. And listen, folks, we're going to have a lot of Masters content coming up in the next couple weeks. So
much.
we love it. It's our favorite major. It's the one we love talking about the most. So we are going to talk about it a lot. We're going to probably do 3 preview episodes in the next couple weeks leading up to the tournament. So look forward to that. And, maybe we'll see if something happens that maybe our picks change. We'll see if anything happens to make them change. So I think to end the show, Hideki has not picked his Masters dinner, by the way. So we'll find out, I'm sure, in the next few weeks.
All right. Okay.
So to finish up, Banksy, we are playing golf together tomorrow morning.
We are
Bright
going
and
to do
early.
some version.
We're going to play some holes of golf.
of golf. Yeah.
It'll be fine.
Yep. It's gonna happen. I mean, for those of you unfamiliar with our location and area, what are we looking at? About 50, well, that
Mine's
early
like
in the
an
morning,
hour.
That early in the morning, I don't know.
Oh, yeah, it's going to be like
40s.
40 something.
But
Doesn't
maybe,
look
you
like
know,
wind though. Doesn't look like any wind.
Yeah, so that's the big thing. The wind is no bueno.
40's easy with no wind.
Yeah. So it could be a great day. Well, it's going to be a great day either way, but it's spring. It's time to get out and play. You know what? Put your big boy pants on and just go out and play.
I haven't hit a real golf ball in too long than I probably care to admit.
Yeah. But like you said, you have permission. So you're going to be there.
I've received permission from the boss, so I will be there no
So
matter
you
what.
will be there.
I don't care who's there. I will be there. But the other exciting thing is that we'll be able to film some content for the YouTube channel. We're going to film what's in the bag for each of us, film some swings on the course. We'll take some video while we're on the course. Kind of all the exciting stuff that we've been waiting for, the nice weather, to finally get out and start adding some content to the YouTube channel. That's why I think both of us were really excited to get the YouTube channel up and running as early as we did. So it was ready for this time, for golf season, when we could get out and play together, film some content, and get some stuff up there different than just the podcast.
I should clean my clubs.
Yeah, I should probably do that too. I'll do it later. It'll be fine. But it's exciting. I can't wait to see you, big guy. I can't wait to get out there and just be on a golf course and hold my golf clubs for more than 5 minutes and Everything. I can't wait for all of it. I'm all in. I got some stogies for us. I'm ready to go, man.
All right,
It's going to be a great day.
my man.
It's going to be a great day. Well, everyone, we appreciate everyone listening. We appreciate everyone watching. As we said, the love on the last YouTube video was just crazy. So if you do enjoy the content, please subscribe to the channel. It doesn't cost anything. We don't flood your inbox, your subscription boxes. We upload a podcast a week, and hopefully you're enjoying the content on that side. And we'll be bringing you some more fun content that we'll be recording tomorrow. So hopefully we'll have that uploaded very soon for everyone. And please subscribe to the YouTube channel. Just search Birdies and Beer Podcasts on YouTube. Will be the first channel that pops up. You can catch this podcast anywhere you get your podcasts: Apple, Spotify, Google, wherever you get your podcasts. You can find our podcast. Just search The Two-Way Miss. Follow us on Twitter at The Two-Way Miss. We'll throw some Twitter content up there. We'll throw some clips of our swings up there, so everyone can critique them. Mine's going to be terrible. Banks is going to be really good, so you can see the difference in our golfing ability. So that'll be fun. We'll post our scorecards at the end too. I think that'll be a lot of fun too. We'll post first scores of the year.
Holy smokes!
Keep
man,
track of
you're-
those. There's a lot of pressure. See, I don't have any pressure because I'm terrible, so it doesn't matter what I post. It's you. You have the pressure because you're really
Throwing
good.
out a lot of promises here.
Oh yeah, man, we're doing it. It's gonna be great. So thanks everyone for listening, watching. Appreciate you, Banksy, for jumping on again as always. And we'll catch everybody next week with another new episode.
All right, swing hard, everyone.
Oh, it's not a cut. That's a slice.
Now this is a quack hook.
Oh,
Short
wow.
and into the right rough, headed to the trees.